From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. A fuel market watcher says the May long weekend is when pump prices tend to plateau for the summer driving season. And Pro International's Roger McKnight says usually refineries will go down for maintenance in January and February as they retool their equipment to produce warm weather fuels. And as that happens, he says the cost goes up for the consumer, peaking in mid-April before leveling off sometime around the Victoria Day long weekend. McKnight says there's also another issue.
This year is a bit different because we have another factor in the equation. It's called the Trump factor.
He says Trump's daily utterances on global trade can have a big impact, good or bad. Fire crews in Manitoba continue to battle out-of-control blazes, including one in the eastern part of the province, which claimed the lives of a local couple. Progressive Conservative MLA Rick Wowchuk named the victims as Richard and Sue Noel, who lived in the rural municipality of Lac-de-Bonnet. The Alberta government says it's sending help to Manitoba to battle the wildfires, with 2 wildland firefighting crews and support staff expected in the coming days. As the first Indigenous person ever to lead the federal department responsible for delivering services to First Nations, Inuit and Métis, Mandy Gulmasti knows she has a daunting task ahead. But the newly appointed Indigenous Services Minister says she also knows what it's like to sit on both sides of the table. Gulmasti inherits a series of outstanding files from outgoing Minister Patty Hajdu, which include reforming the First Nations child welfare system and ensuring communities have access to clean drinking water. Overseas now, we're an environmental conference discussing global climate change is underway in Kathmandu, Nepal, with a special look at mountains.
The conference, entitled Climate Change, Mountains and the Future of Humanity, is expected to include discussions of critical climate issues. Nepal, home to 8 of the tallest mountains in the world, including Mount Everest, faces high levels of glacial erosion. Melting snow and ice have exposed the mountains and increased the risk of rock slides, landslides and avalanches. Nepal Prime Minister Kaiga Prasad Oli tells participants at the opening meeting, from the lap of Everest, the world's highest peak, we send this message loud and clear that to protect the mountains is to protect the planet. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And finally, dermatologists say melanoma is on the rise and young people are not using enough sunscreen. Montreal's Dr. Ivan Litvinov says Canadians between 18 and 29 are significantly less likely to use sunscreen than people aged 30 to 59. The Canadian Cancer Society says there's a lot of misinformation on social media and emphasizes that Health Canada-approved sunscreens are safe. In addition to wearing sunscreen, the Society is urging people to take other measures to stay sun-safe when outside, like seeking shade and wearing a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Winnipeg Jets keep their Stanley Cup dreams alive. Connor Hellebuck made 22 saves to help Winnipeg avoid elimination with a dominant 4-0 win over the Dallas Stars in Game 5 of their second-round series. Meanwhile, a late goal from Andrei Svechnikov helped lift the Carolina Hurricanes up and over the Washington Capitals 3-1 and on to the Eastern Conference Final. Carolina will play the winner of the second-round series between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. Florida stormed back from a 2-0 series deficit to take a 3-2 lead. Over to the NBA now, where Jamal Murray appears to play just fine when he's sick. Although feeling under the weather, the Canadian basketball star had 25 points in a must-win Game 6 for the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets beating the Oklahoma City Thunder 119-107, forcing a Game 7 in their second-round series. And finally, in MLB action, the Toronto Blue Jays dropped Game 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays, 8-3 the final, losing the series 2-1. Up next, the Detroit Tigers. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.